I was a new homeowner and purchased my house in April, moved in May, and by July started having issues whenever we were using our plumbing. So bath time for my daughter, the toilet would start to gurgle when we would drain the tub, and I was like, well, that's weird, but maybe that's normal, I don't know. Then a couple other things happened that are sewer related, but flushing toilets, but they came up the showers and toilets, and oh, it was gross. So that told us, okay, we need to call a plumber, which we call, like, you know, whatever one shows up on Google. They come, they're like, well, you probably need to replace everything, and they're like, we could quote you, but we need to charge for that, and if you don't want to do that, we can flush out your system and maybe buy you some time to help you plan for things. And we were like, let's do that. So they flush everything out and they make it seem like they're doing a big favor for us. And they're like, it's only $300. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Well, this problem keeps happening, you know, later on, but it did buy us a little bit of time. And then we had a couple other plumbing issues that I wish I had run into Aaron sooner. We had a leak in our one shower. It was inside the wall, so then we had to remodel the whole bathroom. One day, I'm taking a walk with my daughter to the park, and I see somebody else getting their plumbing redone by a team of plumbers, and I just like casually was like, oh, hey, that's gonna be my yard soon, and I just kept going by, and one of the guys was like, huh? And I don't know if we connected on that time around, but I walked back through, and that's when Aaron was like, hey, you said you were gonna have something going on here like this in your house. And I was like, yeah, I live right up here, and my plumbing is just, it needs to be redone. And I've been getting quotes all over the place. I can't decide. He was like, yeah, I'll just stop by. I'm gonna finish up here, and why don't I swing by at like 2:30? And I was like, okay. That was the least expensive plumber visit I had heard of, somebody coming by. I was like, absolutely, come on. I was for sure at this point, let's add another quote in there. And it was literally from the moment we met on the street, it just felt like a neighbor, like a friend, somebody genuinely who cared about my pain. It really felt like an angelic moment. I was like, are you an angel? Thank you for coming by for free and checking it out. And he quoted us at 20 grand, which was like, what? I couldn't believe it. And he just explained that he's like, I do not overcharge people. I believe in doing what's right. You know, I take care of my people. I'm paying everybody well, but I'm not throwing out numbers based off of what everybody else is throwing out numbers. I just remember feeling this sense of relief, and I asked if he had any way to have financing, because I didn't have that cash. And my credit cards were already maxed out from the rest of the plumbing issues, and he was like, oh yeah, absolutely. I have a way you can apply for that on my website. So I was like, great. Just miracle after miracle kind of happening, like the serendipitous meeting with Aaron, and then the serendipitous like kind of glitch on the website to get us the full loan so we could pay him and his guys, and just beautiful little encounters like that, the whole experience. It can be stressful, but the team made it seem, and the plumbers, they all made it seem like, you're okay, this is good, and like I was being taken care of from start to finish. So I just say, talk to Aaron. He's the only one. We talked to like 8 different plumbing companies. I mean, pretty much all the ones you Google and you see that are local to the DFW, the Fort Worth area, all of them. I called all of them, and they gave me these quotes. And I remember this one guy came by, and he just made it seem like, I'm doing you a big favor. We're gonna cut costs, 40 grand. That's a good deal. And it sounded like a good deal compared to the 80 grand that I was quoted by the real fancy plumbers. finding out that they quote like neighborhoods based off of, they come up with prices based off of like the income of the neighborhood, and they come up with prices based off of the need of the neighborhood. Like a lot of the houses in my neighborhood need that changeover, so they are going to be people like me in my neighborhood, and I've seen it. I've seen them get the jobs done. I've seen the digging. You see a bunch of tunnels under somebody's house, you're like, I don't know what's happening there. And I feel bad that I don't call Erin. But yeah, my advice would be to talk to friends, talk to people from the area, and really find a plumber through word of mouth, which isn't a luxury everybody has, especially if they're moving here from out of town like I was. I'm not from Texas, and people I know here aren't from Texas either. So I really lucked out on walking into Erin on the side of the street. Like that was very serendipitous and very, very lucky of me to do that. But that's what I'd recommend. Talk to people who have been through this, because more often than not they have, to some degree. Beginning of the process was like a waking nightmare. To realize that your house is worthless without plumbing, that there was no way out. I felt completely trapped and helpless. I don't know anybody. I don't have a ton of friends who know anything that can help me, and I can't resell the house. I can't back out of the sale. I can't do anything like that. This is my problem to solve. And it was just very clear that the functionality of a home is moot without plumbing. So helpless, absolutely distraught, stressed, all of those things to start. And then the hope and the security and the relief of meeting Erin, having the job done, paying for it, having my plumbing work, and know that it's like gonna work for years and years and years and years. And if there's any issue, I know exactly who I'm calling. Erin, come help. So much relief and like a weight off my shoulders. Absolutely.